The Hindu Succession Act, 1956 is a law that governs the inheritance rights of Hindus, including Buddhists, Jains, and Sikhs. The act was passed by the Indian Parliament and came into force on the 17th of June 1956. The Hindu Succession Act, 1956, replaced the pre-existing Hindu law of inheritance, which was based on the ancient Hindu texts and customs. The new act introduced several significant changes to the law, including the following. Equal rights to daughters. Under the old law, daughters did not have any right to inherit ancestral property. The new law gives daughters an equal share in the ancestral property along with sons. Class 1 heirs. The Act defines certain heirs as Class 1 heirs, who have the first right to inherit the property. These include the spouse, children, mother, and siblings of the deceased. Full ownership rights to widows. Widows were not considered full owners of the property under the old law. The new law gives widows full ownership rights over the property they inherit. Testamentary disposition. The Act allows Hindus to dispose of their property through a will or testament. However, the will must be in conformity with the provisions of the Act. Adoption. The Act lays down the rules for adoption under Hindu law. An adopted child has the same rights as a biological child. The Hindu Succession Act, 1956, has been amended several times since its enactment, to remove certain anomalies and inconsistencies. These amendments have further strengthened the rights of women and ensured gender equality in matters of inheritance. Some of the key features of the Hindu Succession Act, 1956 are: the Act applies to Hindus, Buddhists, Jains, and Sikhs. The Act applies to both males and females, irrespective of their religion, caste, or creed. The Act applies to intestate succession, i.e., when a person dies without leaving a will. The Act defines the order of succession in case of the death of a person without a will. The order of succession is determined based on the relationship of the heirs to the deceased. The Act recognizes the right of a female heir to inherit property on an equal footing with male heirs. The Act abolishes the concept of parda, or zenna, property, which was a form of property that was held exclusively by women and could not be inherited by male heirs. The Act also recognizes the right of a person to dispose of their property through a will. The Hindu Succession Act, 1956 has undergone several amendments since its enactment, the most significant of which was made in 2005. The amendment made significant changes to the Act and recognized the equal right of daughters in the ancestral property, irrespective of whether they were born before or after the amendment. The amendment also gave daughters the same rights and liabilities as sons in coparcenary property. Overall, the Hindu Succession Act, 1956 has played a significant role in bringing about gender equality and protecting the rights of women in matters of inheritance and succession.